Thank you so much. Now, in studio, we have Yusuf Dalu. He is a theatre for development specialist, drama trainer, TUM, and that is since 1996 to date. He is an adjudicator and facilitator of drama and elocutions of national repute. He's won a couple of awards, that is Pioneer Best Actor Coast Film Festival, Mbalamwezi Award, Distinguished Service to Kenya Theatre, that is in 2000, and he's also won the award for Best Director, Ford Foundation 2011. He's won an award for UN Youth Festival, Lead Judge 2023, High Spirit Award by PSI, Ashikibi Production, Best Actor Academy Award 2011, and also the National Drama Welfare Association Award of Excellence for 2000 and to 2016 in Vasti's categories, among many others. Yeah, so he is he's well endured. I would say he understands this environment way better. Yusuf Dalu, good morning.
Morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, since 1996, you've been a drama trainer since 1996 to date. Have you seen a play being thrown out because of what they addressed?
Yes, I can say there are occurrences when certain plays have been actually disqualified.
Yeah.
Before.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you highlight which occurrences, if just to mention a few, and why they were disqualified?
Okay, I may not remember exactly which date or which particular team, but the rules are always clear.
Yeah.
That when the play is having political connotations, it's too much above the conception of the kids, the school-going kid, then you may suffer some disqualification. Obscenism, use of vulgar language, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
That can lead to.
So when the play touches on the political landscape, then it's bound to be bad.
It depends.
It depends.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we're looking at Echoes of War, do you think Echoes of War has been politically instigated?
If you watch it critically,
Yeah.
you realize that the writer may have some political inclinations. Yes, because we have so many other political performances that are even taught at school.
Yeah.
The set books are all political, from betrayal in the city, where it was banned so many years, then returned back to, and then banned again, returned back to. All these are politics. But
Yeah.
again, the role of performances or the art is actually to address issues that are either political or that are heavily told plainly with some kind of creativity.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you look at Echoes of War,
Yeah.
it is a political, yes, as much as the writer tried to sugar it or to coat it with a certain set
Yeah.
that may not look political. But however, the issues that build that set are again a true reflection of what the government is facing right now.
Yeah.
And again, I may say it lacks some creative process. Yes, it was just plain. It was just a plain thing.
Why would
Black
you
and
say
white.
that?
But sorry, yeah, the issue is when you're doing a creative work,
Yeah.
a creative piece of work, you have to think beyond telling the truth the true way. When you tell the truth the true way, you kill creativity, and you become a propagandist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, in your opinion, do you think Cleophas Malala had an agenda with this play?
Both the government and Cleophas Malala have some labs. Yes, because personally I've worked with Cleophas Malala very closely.
Yeah.
I've even translated his pieces of work. I know he can do better work than that one.
Okay. And in terms of the government, what was the agenda?
The government now overblew the whole issue. Yes, because as I said, we have political works that are even taught at school.
Yeah.
So what could be done, or the government role could have conceived it lightly than now blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
Yes, they use they have a better machinery than what they did.
Yeah.
If I could say so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yusuf,
Yes.
Mimi swali langu linakuja hapa kwamba kuna matukio ambayo kwamba yanaweza akachangia mchezo ama tuite tamthilia ikakanyagiwa. Umesema ni matumizi ya lugha ambayo kwamba haipendezi na pia maswala ya kisiasa. So kwa huu mchezo wa hii shule kuweza kuondolewa, watu wengi wanasema umeingizwa siasa. Pengine ni matukio gani ambayo umesema pia mwenyewe umesema ubunifu wake anafanya bora kuliko hivi? Hiki alichokifanya mara hii sicho ambacho kwamba wewe unamfahamu nacho. So ni matukio gani ambayo kwamba yalikuwa pale unaweza ukasema haya hapa hakutumia ule ubunifu ambao kwamba unahitajika kwake yeye kuweza kuona ule mchezo unapita?
Labda kwa ufupi niseme kwamba iwapo ni yako ni kutumia sanaa katika kurekebisha jamii, hutatumia mtazamo wa nadharia, hali halisi ilivyo.
Okay.
Utatumia ubunifu kiwango fulani. Mfano mzuri katika mazingira ya nyumba, mfano tofauti. Una baba mlevi ambaye anapiga mama yako na ndugu zako. Alafu andike mchezo wa tamthilia ambayo inamhusika mlevi ambaye ni baba tena. Alafu mwazime paka nguo anazo, maana una nguo za mtu mzima, mwazime paka nguo zake, mwambie na mchezo nataka uje uangalie. Akija anaona mtu kama yule na mazingira kama yale, yule mzee hatatoka pale na marekebisho yote, hatoka na chuki, kwa sababu umeelekeza jambo la kweli kwa hali ya ukweli, ambapo sana inataka tafakari, mtu ajitafute. Lakini ukiandika mchezo ambao unaonyesha baba mwenye umiliki mzuri wa nyumba, anayependa familia, anayependa mke wake, halafu mzee aje aone ule mchezo, utamuelekeza kuliko kuonesha kile kinachotokea ndicho unamuonyesha. Itakuwa pale ubunifu hukutumia. Okay. Ndio pale nasema kuna mambo ambayo yalitokeza hivi juzi katika mambo ya hawa kama Gen Z. Tumesema seti ya mchezo ule ni Palace. Lakini Palace haina kasongo. Palace haina mambo ya kasongo must go. Sasa ni kama mbele unataka kutumia ubunifu, lakini baadaye hisia zako binafsi zinakuzuia tena, unarudi kule ambapo angetumia tu mfumo fulani wa ubunifu, alafu yule anayemlenga akajiona pale, lakini hakutajwa wala hakushinikizwa kuingia katika mchezo.
Okay. Now, Cleophas Malala also, because he also wrote Shackles of Doom, right?
Yes.
That was in 2013. And 2013, it was also pulled out. And we're also seeing him again with the Echoes of War, right? Now, you see that he is a politician. And remember the TSC. Is it TSC, Gona? Yeah, TSC said that Cleophas Malala shouldn't be allowed to write, or rather to script plays. What's your thought on that?
That has been there. It's not something new. And normally it comes a point where it gets revived because of how we handle it.
Yeah.
We know we have teachers, and we have alumni, we have students, you have ex-students. Mostly teachers may not be very versed in literature work.
Yeah.
So they depend on the former the ex-schools, school leavers, the former students, and anybody who is within the line of art. But normally this comes up when there's an issue like this one. Wakati mwingine kuko sawa, no one remembers there's a TSC number, there's what or what. But when it looks like now the times they were called jiggers, there were times they were called all sort of names, and then that subsided. Then everybody was embraced in the whole process of art productions. But when it looks like now the outsiders are influencing a negative impact to the students, that is revived. So like now, Cleophas has been training Western schools for so many years. He's been producing for so many years, even before he was a politician. And I know that is why he's so much close to the productions of the Western region, because he likes the productions. But now, when you talk of the strictly TSC stuff, we may be somehow interfering with the qualities of the production, because the teachers we have, not all of them are versed in the line of performing arts.
Yeah.
Okay, TSA number. When you talk of universities, we don't have TSA numbers. We have separate numbers, but there is some element of knowing this is a bona fide member of university. This is a worker who works in the university. So all this comes when people feel there is interference with the whole process of realizing a kid who is supposed to be all-rounded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There's someone who was arguing that kuna ile sijui inaitwa adlib, kwamba uhuru wa wale ambao wanaweza kuact, na akawa anasema kwamba katika ile script hakuna kwa mfano maneno kama kasongo na vitu kama hivyo, kwamba ilikuwa imepewa uhuru wa wale ambao wana act. Kuna ukweli wowote katika hilo, ama bado ni propaganda ambazo watu wameweza kuzungusha tu mtaani?
Okay, if the word is adlib, ni kwamba wakati unatayarisha scripts, you may not capture all the words. So at some point, alafu pia inakuja na understanding ya yule mhusika na ile role yake, sio? Then anaweza kuongezea hapa na pale, lakini si kweli kwamba unaweza kuandika mchezo mpaka kamilika alafu 60% ni adlib. That should be a very small percentage. Kwa sababu pia kuna uwezekano wa how the audience and the actors are relating at that particular point. Mtu anaweza kuwa carried away, anaweza kukumbuka lines kama vile ana add. Pia kuna taxation ya some dialogues will be lost kwa sababu ya tension, kwa sababu ya nini. So lakini you have to produce a script, which means that is the blueprint of the performance. You cannot say you are just building a house alafu hauna blueprint. Then you say tunajenga tu, kifika mahali nikifikiria tuweke dirisha tutaweka yes. Kwa hivyo that is I don't think that will work. So a script has to be, in fact you can even be told in a comment, edit your script so that you become fully accountable for the words in your script.
Ambapo sasa pia itanileta kwa ile swali ya ilikuwaje basi script hii ikafika mpaka kwa national level. Je, wale adjudicators kuanzia mwanzo hawangeona kwamba kulikuwa kuna issues hapo katikati?
Wanavyosema, kwa sababu hizo level hatukuwepo, lakini wanavyosema ni kwamba adjudicators wrote some recommendations kwamba toa hii. Unaona? Alafu labda wakasema badala ya kungoja ngazi inayofuata yametolewa, wakasema iongezwa. Yeah, you know. Alafu pia unajua after adjudicators have given you some comments maybe kwa sub county, they'll not come to county level to see if you have corrected. That will be another new set of adjudicators. Yes.
Yusuf, what role does the school play in this?
Sorry?
What role does the school play in this? Because, Cleophas Malala is a script writer, right? This is a performance done by Butere Girls, also Shackles of Doom, the same, right? what role does the school play in all this? Yeah.
Let me talk about Shackles of Doom.
Yeah.
There was a bit of tension that time.
Yeah.
Then it was allowed by the High Court again to be presented.
Yeah.
We watched that play. There was nothing tangible. You see? Yes, they're not supposed to perform. Then they were given the order to perform.
Yeah.
People flocked. And we watched the play.
Yeah.
There was nothing tangible. Like this one now, I said it is extra. The force that was used is extra. Because even the day of performances, there was idea of audience not allowed to come in.
Yes.
Maybe they will just leave it, and then people will weigh what was coming up. So right now they did not perform. Now the tension is still in people's mind. What was in that play? Perhaps if they are just told, okay, perform it, then they're given all the level play field to perform. People would have been surprised.
Yeah.
Apart from those slogans and echoing, there's nothing tangible. Maybe, could be.
So the government overreacted.
Yes, that was what I can say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at so Article 33 of the Constitution. It states it grants every person, including students, the right to freedom of expression, including artistic creativity. Article 10 calls for all public officers to uphold national values and principles of governance, among them participation, integrity, and transparency. Article 55 obligates the state to ensure youth have opportunities for political, social, and cultural engagement. Now, when it comes to drama festival, this is art, right? And plays also, in plays we get to express what happens in the society, right? When the government does this, when the government uses excessive force, especially to students, these are students. They don't have stones. They're not throwing stones. They just wanted to perform. They wanted to perform a play. Now we've highlighted that could have been politically instigated, but then the police are there with the guns and the tear gas. What does that mean for a society, especially of youths who are looking to express themselves through art?
Yeah, that's why I said both ends have lapses. Yes, the creative guy had lapses and the government had lapses.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I can simply say regarding that is that in every sport,
Yeah.
there has rules. There are rules that house rules could be, or just general rules. So in the process of the festivals, there are rules. There's an old rule book.
Yeah.
Both the adjudicators and the trainers know that when we touch these lines, we are likely to get this.
Yeah.
Yes. So the festival rule is what made it that this particular play is becoming toxic. And then, yes, the politician now will look at the constitution and say, I'm supposed to be this free to express myself.
Yeah.
So where's the balance? At the end of the day, this is a performance, a creative venture. You see, that is why I'll echo it again and again. If you have read Betrayal in the City, it is pure politics. Even a government is toppled there.
Yeah.
When you look at Kifo Kisimani, it is politics. When you look at Mayai or Zero Maradhi, it is politics. Why are we teaching this, allow the books to be taught at school?
Yeah.
Because they have undergone that creative process.
Yeah.
You get my point. So when we now decided to turn the coin and say, now we are telling the truth the true way, then we are a bit losing it. Yes, and when now we are saying these are students, we even accept that these are children. They should not be corrupted. But again, you're using a heavier machinery for the same children that you're saying they are being corrupted. So where is the balance?
Yeah.
So everyone pulls the string according to
what suits them.
Yes.
And where do the students fall in all this? Because one would ask, are we then using kids to play our politics?
Yes. Now, that is why I'm saying this is a creative venture. The same students are taught politics, but with the right measures. So again, if there's supposed to be a play like that one, there should be some way of imaginary used, creative process used. I mean, it is not the first play that we have watched. I remember in 1999 when the Sudan president Garang was killed. I wrote a play about Garang, which was not politics for the government. It was politics within the National Drama Festival committee itself. But the way I creatively used it, I won first position again. With the same politics, but they appreciated the creative process. And they did not see anything toxic in it. They actually learned. Could be these lapses. We have assumed so much. So they corrected. The committee corrected itself and appreciated instead of creating an enmity at the end of the day. Yes. But because the play was talking about women empowerment, and my concern then was that how can we have women who are adjudicators, women who are facilitators, instead of using them to distribute tea in the festival, instead of using them to wipe trophies in the festival, instead of using them as, the bench has 3 fellows. You may have a very seasoned 2 gentlemen and a little knowing lady in the middle of them who becomes just a stamping officer. She cannot decide anything on the bench. That was so it was political in the sense that I was talking about issues within the association, but again it was perceived in a good way because I gave an option for these fellows to be empowered.
All right, we are speaking to Yusuf Dalu. He is a theatre for development specialist, and we're looking at Echoes of War, just trying to understand the role of plays in the society. If you have any question, you know what to do. 0700917917. Send us that message on our WhatsApp number. We'll be right back. Good morning. Yusuf, I was looking at the CS theme for... are there themes every year for plays?
Yes, they are.
For Drama Festival, right?
Yes.
And the CS theme was enhancing the creative economy through artistic expression for sustainable development.
Yes.
Now, in line with this theme and the play that was put across, did it honor the theme or not?
No, the guiding line there is creativity is not prescriptive. There's no prescription in creative work. There is absorption, adaptation, and creation. Yes, because the whole theme just reflects the need for using talent to empower the community. That's the simple explanation of all those big words in English.
Yeah.
Yes. So anything that adds value to the community, it is actually empowering the community.
Okay.
Yes. So as much as there's that theme, then I say art is not prescriptive. It's not like malaria. You take malaria queen 2 times 3, and that without that the malaria will not go. Here in this case, you use your own creation. You have that freedom of creation, and then the best person who actually uses the same information and absorption and realization and make it contemporary to the community, then wins it. Yes.
Okay. It's very, what's the word?
unatafuta neno hapo
Unatafuta neno.
yani hiyo
It's confusing like
Yeah, I think there's a term that Yusuf keeps using, creative, like putting things in a
ni ubunifu iwe ya choma lakini kwa njia ya ubunifu, yani inakudunga Miriam lakini by the time unakuja kujua ni mimi nadungwa umeshasoma.
So pretty much whatever play somebody comes up with, it will pass.
Let me repeat myself.
Yeah.
It will only pass if the creative process was apt. If whatever you want to tell, you have actually there's a word that is called the cause and effect, well managed. In any story, you have to create a cause and its effect.
Yeah.
That is called causality, the process of analyzing cause and effects of something. If you don't have proper cause and effect in any story that will make people ask questions, then you have failed as a creative person. You are supposed to answer your own questions as the play or the verse or the dance is unveiling. You get my point?
Yeah.
And then the whole aspect is also how creative you choose. What angle are you choosing your issues to present? Okay, maybe this is not the right time to explain this, but there was a time when I even had an English woman. Is that correct?
Yeah.
On the bench, and my play was in Swahili. Through the acting skills, now she could follow, and asking other adjudicators, are they saying this? Yes. Do they mean this? My theme was simple. What if a man marries a toxic woman who gives him children?
Yeah.
But since she is a toxic woman, she always feel the kids with negative issues about the father.
Yeah.
So after the bile is really red for the kids, unfortunately, the mother dies and left the man with kids who are very have poisonous ideas before they were corrected by the same mother.
Yeah.
And the mother left the group. How will this man survive with his own kids who are full of toxic ideas about him? I'm told the English woman who was part of the judge was the one who scored the play, and he gave us 95%, saying she has related with the story because that is how their life there abroad is. So that when you see very old men coming down here and they decide to die this side, is because the kids they are left with abroad, they know nothing good about the man, and the man has reached his unproductive time and full of blames from the kids. So they decide, whatever little I have, let me now go away from these kids. Yes. So the approach of the theme can make somebody, actually the meter is 7 out of 10 people must identify with themselves with your story.
And I like that. And you see, if you're looking at Echoes of War, it could have been, now if we're going to bring the government in play, they were addressing issues that we are experiencing as a country, right? And there's of course there's been tension, there's been a lot of opposition against the current government, and people have said it out publicly. And we've seen demonstrations. We've seen people go to the streets to protest. A lot of things. So it's been happening. One would say, but they are talking about what's happening in our society. And a lot of us can relate to that. So what is the problem?
The problem is, as I said, the approach, the focus, the creative process. I'll term it again and again, the creative process.
Yeah.
How creatively did you address this issue? My catching line there is, when you tell the truth, the true way, you become a propagandist instead of a creative person.
Yeah. If this play were to be written by somebody else other than Malala, would it have passed?
Yes, depending on the angle and the creative process it has been given. I'm telling you, if you don't just go read Betrayal in the City. Even the government is toppled.
Yeah.
In that play. Even the murder, when actually the first scene itself is political.
Yeah. When
Doga enters the stage and Nina was behind him, and there's an open grave, and Doga says, when Nina screams from the first scene, Doga says, "Nina, stop where you are. What sort of a mother you do not fear to set your eyes on this evil that has been done on your own son's grave?" For hours and hours we shook with grief for those who saw him die and unfolded the story. The scene continues, and then there's a point to say, only 4 bullets were fired on that day, and Adika, my son, had 4 bullet wounds on his chest. That shows that was called murder. You see?
Yeah.
But the weaving and the conception of the whole idea, it gives it another thought.
It's the creative process.
Yes.
Now I get it. I mean, when you're reading you just talking about Betrayal in the City, I felt some goosebumps. Did you feel it?
No?
Yeah, I did. I think that's the effect of plays.
Yes.
Yeah.
You tell actually. There's some thread that you need to get familiarized with. For instance, a complex story should be told in an easy way.
Yeah.
And an easy story now invites the complex production techniques.
Yeah.
You cannot have a complex story and a complex production techniques. That would be a scientific play, unless you have an SMP table to realize what you are watching.
Yeah.
A complex story, a complex
production
brings a scientific
play.
Okay.
So when you tell it is scientific, because it has no entertainment value.
Oh, kusha habari yetu.
Yes.
Na hii kweli haikuwa na entertainment.
And you look at your audience properly. For instance, you have soundtracks,
Yeah.
You have gunshots, tracks, you have what. Now take that to a village where there's always bandits, and invite them, and then use the soundtrack. They'll run away. When they hear the gunshots and whatnot, they'll know tumevamiwa.
Yeah.
But when you use it at the theater halls here, those coming to watch, they're already informed their production techniques. So there's so many things that guides a better production at the same time.
Okay. Jana Rais alizungumza kuhusiana na hii, alikuwa much more of indirect, lakini alikuwa anaizungumzia hiki kitu kwamba tuwafundishe watoto wetu vitu ambavyo kwamba vitawajenga wao kimaadili, lakini kielimu, lakini pia tuwafundishe kuipenda nchi yao. So swali langu linakuja hapa. Je, kuna wale ambao wanazungumza hapa kwamba wale ni watoto wadogo, wengine wakaenda hata mbali kwamba je, ile play ingekuwa imepewa for example Gen Zs ama hawa watu ambao kwamba wako wanaita elimu ya juu, ingeleta huu mshawasha ambao kwamba tuko nao, ama kungekuwa na utofauti?
Labda ungekuwa hata zaidi.
Okay.
Kwa sababu wahusika ungeleta ule uhalisia wa umri karibu na watu. Nilimsikia msemaji wa serikali akisema kwamba Malala alipokuwa kwenye ile bweni kule kuna wasichana wengine wa shule zingine, huoni ni hatari mwanaume kuonekana huko.
Yeah.
That is exaggeration.
Yeah, that's
Sasa ndo nakwambia kila mtu ana mapungufu yake na kila mtu anavuta kamba upande wake, lakini ukweli ni kwamba sote tungewajibika, tungekuwa sawa. Hata hawa watu wazima ambao wanaambiwa, you know look at the history of theater acting. It was main business. Most of the world wars ilikuwa attributed to performances. You get the point? Because unfortunately theater handles conflicts. Sika muziki. Muziki, you can sing a 2-hour song praising somebody, but you cannot write a single scene without conflicts. So conflicts are the drive wheels of performances in theater. Without conflict, there is no drama.
Oh.
Yes.
Without conflict,
There is no drama.
There's no drama.
yani bila mgogoro
Hakuna drama. Tuenda kwambia, I give you two situations. Bwana mlevi hukaa saa 9 usiku. Alafu akibisha mlango, mke wake anaamka, hata hajalala maskini, yako sitting room anamngojea. Akibisha mlango anaenda kumpokea mume wangu, akimshika akimweka kwenye kiti, jamaa anamtapikia kwenye uso. The lady is so humble, anafuta matapishi, anamweka vizuri, anamvua viatu, ngoja nikuletee chakula mume wangu. Anaenda jikoni, anamletea chakula. Jamaa kwenye chakula anaingia kwenye maji ya beseni ya kuosha mkono, anatumbukia huko ndani, and then the wife is again anafuta maji, anaweka, anampa chakula. That is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2. This old guy drunk. Akati kifika saa 5, bibi anasema, huyu mwanamume leo atanitambua, amenizoea. Saizi anatoka wapi? Then the guy knocks the door. The wife says, sifungui. Na ukiingia vile ulivyoingia ndio vile nitakavyokutoa. You get the point?
Yeah, nakumbuka.
So which scenes out of the two will you sit and watch?
Umenikumbusha scene moja yenye ulitu direct tuko hapa Mombasa sasa. Naja, siji. Utatoka, hutoki.
So hizi conflicts za serikali za nani na nani ndio ziko the right place to be addressed in this performance.
Yeah.
But it depends on how
you address it.
Yes.
Okay.
Hapa kwa high court napo kuiruhusu hii ifanyike, iwe walikuwa wao wameona nini haswa ndo akasema wacha tu iendelee.
High court haijaangalia play. High court iliangalia tu dhuluma ama sababu ya kuzuiwa kwa hawa watoto kuperform. Wakaona kisawasawa wanafaa perform. Wakaona badamu walishinda na wanafaa level ya pili, wanafaa kuperform. They have no time ya kuangalia kwamba huu mchezo uliactiwa wapi, wakaja wakakaa wale majaji na maprosecutor na wengine ambao wanahusika. Wale wanaangalia tu kihaki, hawanafaa kuperform. Tutasema pia mbona wasemekana ilipita kule chini. Tumezungumza kwamba wale waamuzi, sio wakaguzi, waamuzi walisema bana mchezo uruhusiwa, lakini tuondoeni haya madoadoa aliyopo according to vile ninavyosema. Mimi siku hakiki hayo maswala. And then wanasema baadaye walipoulizwa mliacha vipi kule, wakasema sisi tufanye nini, tulisema yatolewe, akaongezwa. Get the point? Sasa kila mtu anapaka kiwango fulani ambacho kinamhusu, alafu ile kwingine kunachukuliwa na wale wengine. Yes.
Dalu, looking at the theatre scene, how do we build the theatre scene in the region so that people may love watching plays, people may show up and, and pay? Those are play elements that took place, I think a few weeks back, right? And the turnout was underwhelming. Yeah. How do we build that?
Okay, nafikiri the most important thing is have quality shows. Yes. You think big and start small.
Yeah.
Personally, there's a time I walk into the theater and I was embarrassed to watch a play that one had no value for the money that people are paying. And then when you ask the organizer, they tell you this is an improvised script. So there's no control in improvisation. Or are we looking for escapism? Because even improv, whatever you say, this is a performance, it must have values. And part of the value is value for the money, apart from the moral and what not. So artists must be willing to really do it as work, not wasting time venture, because art has a way of giving back. You use it as a wasting time venture, it will waste your time 10 times threshold. I remember there was a time when we were doing shows at Mombasa Primary with Kizingo Arts. Even those weeks that we are not giving a show, because we are doing it monthly, even the month that we say we won't have a show, people will still come. Now that made us to go to Mombasa Primary to tell people, today we don't have a show. We said we won't have a show, and we are here to tell you we don't have a show, because people are still flocking. Because of the quality of the work that we are doing. So they should not take people for granted. Artists, they should work. Yes, and as I said, art is not a wasting time venture. It is work. And if you look at it critically, our artists today, they don't take it serious. Yes. They are self-purported thespians, instead of growing through the process again. To be the thespian you want to be, you need to work hard. You have to be mentored properly. Yes, and actually formalize your art. Don't inherit it and get satisfied. Get the spark from inheritance and then formalize the art. Go to school, read it, so that you're confident of what you're doing. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Yusuf Dalu. Thank you for making time. We've been speaking to Yusuf Dalu. He is a theatre for development specialist, and we've been looking at the role of plays in our society. In a bit, we're going to speak to Chief Mentor Mahmood Noor. We're talking about reinventing oneself. How many times have you had to start over? How many times? He's going to tell us more about that in a bit. Good morning.